Hello everyone, this is Ashish Sani from Innovate Yourself. Welcome back to my channel. Once again, I am back with a new video on Rasa Chatbot, and this time our today's concept for the Rasa Chatbot is Rasa Lit. So we will be talking completely about the Rasa Lit, and we will completely understand what exactly Rasa Lit is and what are the benefits of using Rasa Lit in the today's session. So let's not waste time and let's straightforward go to the project and let's understand how exactly the Rasa Lit is used and what other components that we have for Rasa Lit. So let's get started. Alright, so you can simply understand the Rasa Lit is not a simple initiative. It's like a complete community who have helped the complete Rasa NLU components to understand and to further use it, based on which they have just created this Rasa Lit platform, which is really helpful for creating and understanding the complete Rasa project. And in this, some of the components, or let's say some of these views, are made using the Streamlit, which you can see over here. So this is a repository where you will get a complete description and a complete explanation about the Rasa Lit, so you can get everything. And now in today's session I will be explaining you everything about Rasa Lit. So firstly, I have told you like what exactly Rasa Lit is and how it has been formed, right? So now the further thing is like how you will be further using it, how you can use it with your Rasa project and what benefits it will provide you. So firstly, the thing is that you first of all have to install this Rasa Lit onto your environment which you have already set up for your Rasa project, so that we can further call it, or let's say we can further run the server for the Rasa Lit, and we can accordingly check the multiple features that are available for it, right? So let me show you, and first let me do the installation of Rasa Lit so that I can further use it and accordingly I can verify it, right? So firstly, you can see this is the first command which you can see over here. So you have to install it in this way, like python-m pip install the git repository. So in this way we are going to do it. So now go to the project. So this is a project which I already have, and I think this is the project which I have used in my previous session to deploy my Rasa chatbot onto the WordPress website. So if you want to learn how to connect your WordPress website to the Rasa chatbot, so you can refer to my previous video, and I will leave a link in the description for the video for that, so you can check it. Now let's move ahead and let's do the installation of it. And to do the installation, just simply paste this and it will do the installation for you, right? So now let's wait for it to finish. Alright, so the installation is successful, and I think in my case it was already installed, so that's the reason it didn't took much time to install, right? So now we are done with the installation process. Now the next thing is that how we can further use it, or let's say how we can further use it. For example, if I will simply say, let's say Rasa Lit, so what happened? It will generate an error because we cannot directly call it. So the way of calling it is like python-m, and it's like Rasa Lit. So in this way we can call it, and based on that you can see you have multiple options, like what are the different features that it provides you. So firstly, you can see there is one Diet Explorer, second one is Live NLU, third one is NLU clustering, its overview, spelling, version. So everything that you want to perform for your Rasa Lit, everything is available in here, and now you can further use it, right? So in this way we will be doing it. Like the first thing is, let's say we will go for the Live NLU, for example. Right now I just want to shift to that, so I will simply type Live NLU. And also there is one more thing that we can specify over here, is that at what port we want to run it, right? Because by default it will use some port, but I want to use some random port, right? Let's say -port, and I will specify the port number, let's say 8051. So mostly this port is completely free, so we can directly use it, right? Now press enter. So now let's see what will happen. It will start the server, and that server will be opened onto the browser, and in that browser you will be able to run everything, or let's say you will be able to check all the commands in the real time, or let's say in the live mode. So now wait for it to open. Now wait for it, you can see it's running over here, right? So just wait for it to open completely. And over here you can see it is asking you like you can select an option, or let's say you can select a model on the left to interact with. Over here you will see that you have multiple models, whichever you have already trained. So whichever model you will select, based on that you will be using this live mode with that, or let's say Live NLU for that, right? So currently I will be using the latest one, whichever I'm having. So right now, as you can see, I have simply printed, or let's say this is the by default message that they have provided. Let's say text input for model. So I have entered hello. So when you will press enter, so now what it will do is it will simply show you the complete intent classification. Let's say it will show you the complete about the intent thing, right? So right now, as per this message, you can see the intent which is classified is greet, and the confidence level for that is 0.9999. So in short, you are able to visualize everything. You are able to visualize every concept which you must have analyzed, or let's say you must have viewed till now in just the Rasa shell, or let's say Rasa shell in the debug mode. So this is how you must have done that, right? But this time you don't have to go to that backend process. You have the visualization process, you have the front end for that, where you can completely visualize everything, right? So this is the way how you can do it. So this is the first message, and similarly in my project I have other messages as well. For example, let me go to the NLU first of all. Currently I am simply passing a normal message. Let's say I am sad, for example. Now for this you can see mood unhappy. Yeah, exactly, this is mood unhappy, and as per that you have a confidence level for this, and this is the intent which is classified over here, right? And not only just about the intent classification, you will be able to do the entity extraction as well. So let's see over there, like whether we can perform it here only or we require something else to do it, right? So let me do one thing. Let's say I want to read the documentation. For example, this is a message and I want to pass it over here, and for this let's see whether I will get something else only. Exactly, you can see over here blog is the intent which has been classified, and over here content type. Content type is the name of the entity which it has classified, or let's say which it has extracted. So in this way, documentation is the value which you have for the entity which is named as content type. So in this way you can do the intent classification and you can do the entity extraction in the live NLU mode, and that is just possible because of the Rasa Lit. So I think that sounds really interesting, and that is completely attractive and a really useful method to perform and to create the Rasa application, or let's say the Rasa chatbot, right? So that's all that we are going to do. So over here you can also see like the full specification about it, like what exactly we are going on, or let's say what exactly is happening in the backend as well. So full model specification is like we have the first white space tokenizer, then the regex featurizer, then the lexical syntactic featurizer. So everything we have, and these all features you are able to visualize just because of the configuration that you have set for your Rasa chatbot, and that we have set before training to the model, right? And that you can check in the config.yml file, right? So where is that? Over here you can see white space tokenizer, regex featurizer. So in whatever order you will specify, in that order only you will get the complete specification about the model, right? So can you see? So everything is there. So in this way you have the complete thing, and now you can see other thing as well, view diet attention charts, right? So in this way you have it, and over here you can see whatever you are getting, everything you are able to see in just a single format, like from I to I, and the score is this. So in this way you have the complete chart for that, right? So over here you can see it for every word, like what is the score for that, or let's say what is the confidence level for that for each of the word, and based on that only it is able to generate a final value for you, and that is the confidence level. So in the same way also you can see over here that you have the value, everything over here, right? So in this way we have it for this also, for this also, for different values that you have provided. You are getting multiple information from the attention mechanism inside of diet. So in short, here we are using the diet classifier, and based on the diet classifier, whatever graph you are able to build, that is being built over here, and that we are able to generate just because of the message that we have provided. And what is that message? That is the message which we have written over here, and that is the input text, right? So I want to read the documentation, so that's the reason as per that you have this value, and that is for multiple heads, right? So it is not relying on just a single head, it is giving you the value as per the multiple layers and heads, right? So this is how we have it, right? So this is about the first thing, which is NLU, or let's say the live NLU, which we have verified right now as per this. Now we will shift to the next one, which is like let's say NLU cluster first of all. So we will go for that. So let's do one thing, let's stop this now, and this time let's try it for NLU cluster. Now run it. Now you can close this one, it will open a new one for you. Alright, so now we are about to use the NLU clustering. So from the name itself, it is simply clear that we are going to do some clustering process where we are going to combine the data and we are going to categorize it. So that is all about the clustering. So in here you can see this is a sample data that is already shown to you. Like here you can see it is giving you like some examples which it has done the clustering. Like over here you can see this is the clustering process. This is the cluster data. This is the cluster data. So in this way you have the cluster data present over here. But that is just a sample data, and right now I don't want to use it. Instead, let's do one thing. Let's browse some file so that I can use that file, and accordingly I can generate this clustering process for it, or let's say clustering graph for it. So this is what I will be doing right now. And for that you can see over here it is asking you that upload a text file for clustering. Each utterance should appear on a new line. So in short, if you want to do the clustering process, so here you have to provide some data, and that data should be provided in such a way that your each utterance should be given in a new line. So right now what I'm going to use is I am going to create a new file, or let's say I have a sample file over here. So in here currently what I'm doing is I'm simply writing some text, and that text is some, let's say, utter names. It will not use the utter names first of all, or let's say it's not use the text for those utterances, right? So it will not use in that way. So it is just like the normal sample data, right? So when I will use this, let me show you how it is going to work. Currently the data is very less, so you will not be able to get the completely clustered data, but yeah, you will be able to perform the clustering on the text data that you are providing in there, right? So just wait for it to load, and there you will get like how it is working, right? So can you see right now you have the data, and for each of the point, or let's say each of the data point, you have the message, or let's say the text that you have provided there. What I have provided there, I just have provided the names of the utter actions. So utter greet, utter I am a bot, utter check, utter content, utter services, utter goodbye. So in this way we have it. Now in the same way, if I will change the values, for example, instead of passing this, I just want to pass, let's say, the messages from here, right? Let me just copy and paste it. All right, so I have some new data over here, so let me try it with this. So now just remove it and upload it again. Alright, so now you can see we have the new data, and based on the data set whatever we have provided, we are getting a value for it, and it's like name is like I am bot powered by this, and original one is this only. So in this way we have clustered the data, but currently the data is not quite similar, so that's the reason we have a gap in between, and it's not clustered properly, right? And in the same way, like over here you have some options, you can check them, and accordingly you can verify it, like whether you want to select embedding method as light sentence encoding or count vector SVD. So in this way you can use it. Okay, so wait for it to load. Now can you see you have the data, and for each of the data it is giving, or let's say it is generating some result. And currently, okay, I think it's a sample data, it's not using the data that you have provided. It's a sample data, so based on that you have result. Now I have to load it again, and for this you have this result. So the results are different, so in this way you can get the values, right? So in this way what we are doing is we are just doing the clustering, and based on the clustering process we can get it. So now you can change the value for the distance of UMAP, and you can also change the number of UMAP neighbors as well. So that's your choice, like how you're going to do it. So let me reduce it. So this range of n-gram is like that we generally set for the configuration file, and that I can show you in the configuration file itself for the count vector featureizer. So there we are going to use the ngram feature. So here we have set the minimum ngram is 2 and maximum ngram is 3, and based on that it is going to generate the results, right? So this is how we have the results, and now whatever values you will change, and based on that you can get the results, right? So that is all about it. Now I think this is clear about the NLU clustering. Similarly, now you have the other features as well, and other features are like yeah, overview, spelling, version, whatever you want to do you can do it. So right now I will show you the last one, and that last one is Diet Explorer. So I will be using it, so it is about that. And I think one more thing I forgot to tell you about the NLU cluster, and that is that before running it you have to install it, and there is one requirement, or let's say there is one dependency, and that dependency is this one. So if you will not have this, then you will not be able to run the NLU cluster. So most important is this, just install it first of all, right? So you have to simply install it here like this. So it will install it, and you can run the NLU clustering. Without this you will not be able to run it, right? In my case it ran successfully just because I was already having it, right? So in this way we have done it, and now let's move to the next one, and that next one is like yeah, it is for the overview part, and overview you can use it in this way, and accordingly you can get the results. I will not go for it, I am going for the other ones. NLU Live we have already seen. I will go for the Diet Explorer, and rest of the ones, if you want to understand, you can understand it here also, like it's about the spelling. So whatever spellings you will add, based on that you will get the value for it, or let's say based on that you will get a confidence value for it. So right, so this is the way how you will be doing it. Now let's check the last one, and that last one is Diet Explorer. And other than Diet Explorer there is one more thing is, which is bulk labeling. So if you want to label your data in bulk, so you can do the bulk labeling in this process as well, right? So this is another way to train your data, or let's say provide the sufficient data to get a appropriate result for it, right? So in this way we can get it. Okay, so let's follow the diet classifier, right? Or let's say the Diet Explorer. So I will be using it right now. Okay, wait, it will not accept it directly, right? As I said, it will not accept directly, so the command is not written properly, or let's say it's not written complete. So you need to write it like this, -m, and like this, right? Now run it. Now you can open it again. Alright, so you can see you have a complete Diet Explorer for that. So you have the data, and with the data set that you have provided, you are going to get this result, right? So it's like the feed forward. So you will be having the weight, sparsity, dense dimension, text and level. So you have all these things. So in this way you can go to each step, and you can get a detailed description about the classifier that you are using. So we are just checking for the Diet Explorer, so that's the reason we are having this. And in this way, whatever process or whatever steps we are using in the complete diet classifier, so you will be able to understand everything from here. So this is the complete description about the Diet Explorer. So in this way you will get it, right? Now this is about it. Alright, so now I think you have got a proper understanding that what are the different features available for Rasa Lit. And I think you have got an idea what exactly Rasa Lit is and how to further install it and to use it. So that is all about this, and I hope everything is clear to you. But still, if you are facing any difficulties in understanding this topic, feel free to leave a comment below in the comment section. And also don't worry about the link. I will leave a link in the description about this Git repository, so that you can directly go to it, and accordingly you can also start working on it to make a very attractive and a very good stories with very less errors, right? So that's all about it. And if you have liked this video, do click on the like button, and if you are new to our channel and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, do click on the subscribe button so that you do not miss any videos from our channel. So that is it from my side. Till then, bye bye and happy learning.